Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. And this is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today we're going to talk about intention related to the Hurricane Florence, which is now coming on shore in North and South Carolina, even as we're doing this broadcast. So one of the things, I'm sure everyone is aware of this storm, and all of us are quote unquote praying for people's safety and sending thoughts of well wishes to people in that area. But we have the potential to do something infinitely more powerful than that. And it comes from this wonderful book by Greg Braden, The Spontaneous Healing of Belief. One day we'll do a whole series of recommended readings. This was at the top of my list. This is an amazing transformational book. And I read this book when I was pretty old, and it still resonated with a lot of things in my life and still gave me tons of new and exciting knowledge. So this book has been a big one for me. So one of the things he describes in here is this experiment that they did. Oh my gosh, I don't know if these are the right glasses to read this. Let's just see how I do. So in 1982, a bunch of researchers decided to test a bunch of people to see if feeling the result you want will make a difference in what happens, rather than just praying for this experience to occur. So for that particular experiment, those involved used a form of meditation known as transcendental meditation. Well, this was back in 1982, but we have since found that you don't have to be a trained meditator to create this. So at appointed times on specific days of the month, these people were positioned throughout the war-torn areas of the Middle East. During the window of time that they were feeling peace, terrorist activities ceased, the rate of crimes against people went down, the number of emergency room visits declined, and the incidence of traffic accidents dropped. When the participants' feelings changed, the statistics were reversed. This study confirms earlier findings. When a small percentage of the population achieves a feeling of peace within themselves, it is reflected in the world around them. So this experiment took into account the days of the week, lunar cycles, and other things that could have caused a problem. And this number that they found of people that need to feel as they meditate is the square root of 1% of the population. So let's put that in easier terms. So it's smaller than you think it would be. For example, in a city of 1 million people, the number is about 100 that can be focused in this way and make a change. So in a world of 6 billion, that's just under 8,000. And that's actually a calculation that represents only the minimum. So this study became known, and you can look it up, as the International Peace Project in the Middle East. And the results were published in the Journal of Conflict Resolution in 1988. And so the important thing that this shows us is that it's not just praying for them, but feeling their safety. And what I think we want to do right now, because one of the problems is the storm is moving so slowly, and we need it to speed up because it's just dumping rain in the spots where it's stalled out. So we need to feel it moving quickly over the area and dissipating. It's already not as strong a storm as it was. So what's wrong with this? You got something on your nose? He's like pawing his face. Go ahead, get it, whatever it is. So we've already seen a change in Florence with just her slowing down a little bit and becoming a Category 1 storm. But she is still really powerful and dumping tons of rain in North and South Carolina, and then sweeping up through the Appalachian Valley and coming eventually next week on Wednesday, I think, to the Northeast. So what we need to do as a group is send our thoughts and feelings that this storm is going to speed up and not dump a ton of water in one place, and you're going to feel the sense of relief for the residents in the area as the storm moves by them quicker than anyone had anticipated. And there are meteorological ways that that can happen that people aren't even really looking at right now because, it follows all the norms of a particular kind of situation. But we only need 100 people thinking about this in a focused way. Great if we could all do it at the same time. You know, maybe I'll just throw it out there that we do it at noon Eastern time today, because that gives plenty of people a chance to look at this. And if we get 100 people, we might make a difference. Right now, they've evacuated about 1 million people in North Carolina. So that's a good chunk that we only need 100 people to feel relief and a sense of the storm moving surprisingly quickly over the area. That will bring a lot of relief to the area. And I know in my town here, Northampton, Massachusetts, we have a lot of meditation groups that meet every Sunday night. And I'm sure some of them are kind of aware of this study, but there are at least 100 people meditating in this town every Sunday night. And I think if we could somehow gather them together and give them some focus points each week, that we could see big changes happening around us in political areas, environmental areas, you know, peaceful changes in areas of conflict, as the study shows. So I think this is a really important thing, and we all have that power within us. It's the intensity of our belief, and it doesn't matter if you believe in God, the divine, Mother Nature, the universe, some spiritual power outside of you, or just the power of humans. It's not going to change the power of our ability to come together and think and feel. That's the important thing, to really feel it, to be imagining yourself watching the news and going, oh yeah, it's not as bad as anyone thought it would be. It's, you know, we dodged a bullet. What a relief. Look at those people. Nothing was beyond repair. No one was injured or killed. It's been, you know, you got to feel that relief. And also a sense of wind rushing by you as the storm picks up speed and just moves quicker than anyone had expected. So let's try that at 12 Eastern time today. Just sit quietly if you're not a person who meditates. Just take even 60 or 120 seconds, 2 minutes at your lunch break. If you're on the East Coast, or in the morning in traffic, if you're on the West Coast or in the central part of the country, and just think about that storm moving quickly and feeling that storm moving quickly, and the sense of relief and comfort that the storm did less damage than anyone anticipated. So the other thing we'll do today to assist the people in North and South Carolina and Virginia and Georgia is we'll send them some heart hugs right here and now. So to do a heart hug, remember it's a Tellington T-Touch heart hug. You imagine the face of a clock here over your heart with the 6 towards your feet, the 12 up here, and you're going to move your 2 hands in a circle all the way around the clock and back up to the 9. You're going to do 1 circle and a quarter. Then you can pause and do several more. It doesn't matter which direction you go. It helps to close your eyes if you'd like, but you don't have to. I like to take a deep breath before I do it. And what I'm going to do is just send comfort and safety to all of the people affected by this storm. And you can even do this heart hug while you're thinking at lunchtime today at noon Eastern time, and getting that feeling of what a relief that it was not as bad as we thought it would be. What a relief that storm is just moving much faster. Some of the changes it experienced on the land have just speeded her right up, and she is not dumping tons of water where they thought she would. And we can make this change. We can make this happen. I am sure there are 100 people listening to this over the course of a day. Well, in fact, I know there's 100 people listening to this over the course of a day. And if you miss the noontime, just pick another time when you think a lot of people might be watching this, which would be, for me, I would think a lot of people tend to watch it after dinner, maybe 7 o'clock p.m. If you miss the noon one, try that Eastern time, and just send that sense of relief. Feel it in your body that, oh my gosh, dodged a bullet, thank heaven. And that is going to make a change. So use your power of intention today to make a difference in the lives of millions of people. And let's not forget the pets. And thank God pets are allowed in shelters, and people are concerned for their pets and bringing them with them and bringing their food. And lots of relief agencies are now helping with the pet situation. But let's do one more heart hug and send wellness and safety and comfort to all of the pets during this storm. So thanks for joining us today. Never underestimate the power of 100 people to change a million and make this storm move quickly and do far less damage than anyone anticipated. Right, Biscuit? He says, there's lots of corgis down there I have to think about. If a group of trained meditators can make a difference in a war-torn area, certainly a bunch of animal lovers can make a difference with a storm, which is, after all, just a collection of energy, and our collected energy can make a shift. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow on Saturday around 9:30 for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. I am going up to Ashfield at 1 o'clock for the Ashfield Corgi Picnic, where we have 25 to 30 corgis running free. I will definitely post pictures, and the corgis always have a really good time. And if you are anywhere near Western Mass, you know, in Connecticut, all the way out to like Millbrook, New York, and Eastern Mass through Worcester and up through like Brattleboro, certainly in Vermont, this is a great thing. So if you've got a corgi, come on down and eat my corgi cookies I'm making. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow.